So we're getting here for our community meeting, and I'm going to run them through. So we'll have our IMET, our meteorologists, and our operations, our agency administrator, then our ICs, and then we'll entertain some questions if you have any for us after that. Hand the show over to the meteorologist. There you go. Dan.
All right, good evening, everyone. Name's Dan Bird. Thought the mic went off. Anyway, you've probably seen this chart before because y'all been watching IMETs probably for about a month and a half now, but it's just a planning tool for the team. It just really looks like we're going to be in this stagnant pattern probably for at least the 7 to 10 days. I'm not really seeing any rainfall. Tomorrow, it's not really critical fire weather conditions. I would call them elevated fire weather conditions because temperatures are going to be pretty warm. Probably going to be mid-80s or low 90s down here in the lower elevations. But up closer to the fire, temperatures are probably going to be the mid-80s. RHs down into the teens. So, and a little bit of wind. There's going to be a cold frontal body that's going to approach the fire tomorrow, but it's very weak. But it will increase the winds. You could see a few gusts to the 20, especially up in the higher elevations and the ridge tops. Down here, maybe see gust 15. So not really strong winds, but enough to call at least elevated fire weather conditions. But as we progress for the next, like I say, 7 to 10 days, we're going to be in this kind of this stagnant pattern of a little bit cool, a little bit warmer with under high pressure ridging. For the most part, might get a couple of weaker boundaries, but not really seeing anything in the way of any red flag conditions or on the other end of the scale, any precipitations or thunderstorms for, like I say, at least the next 7 to 10 days. So kind of the same pattern for a while. Thanks.
Next up is our operations, Brian Nate.
Good evening, everyone. Brian Nate, operations. So planning ops, trainee, the operation shop. So looking at the map, we're going to kind of go through this progress with the two operations we have going simultaneously. We still have fire suppression going on, and then we've got the repair at the same time. So we'll break it down and go through the fire suppression we got going on, starting up in the Warm Lake corridor. We were able to take that fire from our containment line and then tie that back into the Warm Lake Road. End of shift today, the crews are feeling good with that, with containment. And then, of course, all this fire line out here is tied into the old Cascade fire scar from '07. That's looking good. We've got a little donut right here. We're going to continue to monitor that, see if anything's going to, kind of bump in. Still got a little bit of unburnt island in there to the old burn scar, but that's all looking good. We're feeling confident with it. And then coming around to our other large area we put a lot of horsepower into is coming up out of the Clear Creek Road. Got crews tied in there, pinched in, coming on into both ways, moving into that private land. Kind of a deep, dark drainage in there. Being able to move through there, stopping any westerly progress out of that. End of shift tomorrow, we should feel fairly confident in the work we've got. The work the crews have been able to implement in the last several days in there. And again, we're coming in, bringing it, wrapping it around, tying it into a natural feature, ridge up top. And then allowing that, not allowing, but we are looking still, this will be, we're not putting boots in the ground or firefighters down into that dark drainage, and then just keeping up with it if any activity happens moving into the future. So from there, other area of concern that we've focused a lot of manpower into is going to be over here on the Deadwood Lake corridor. We got a bunch of dozer line mixed with hand line. Had a crew in there yesterday, really worked it over, opened it up, locked it up for us with that crew, feel good with that, and then was able, with another couple crews and some helitack people, to be able to drop down into here and start pulling this flank. And that kind of wraps up our major concern areas on the suppression. Fire suppression there, we're still going to have, warming event coming in. We're still going to see some islands, a little bit of smoke out there, but no major concerns are being identified at this time. Now, into the repair, which is a fairly large operation moving on. We've got all the backhaul, all the accountable property moving around through the snag fire. Basically, that whole fire has got all the unneeded material pulled off, all the hand line, 90% repaired at that point, and then moving any heavy equipment that we've got up into there. Same thing on the indirect lines, kind of through Delta, Alpha. Heavy equipment's been able to get into there the last 24, 48 hours to start that progress. And also here, Silver Creek, we do have one excavator working up here, and another down at 49 trying to close up that and get that set back to the landscape. 3 more excavators working down here on the Bulldog fire. Sorry. And then down around DP 60, kind of coming around through that division uniform area. Long track to get them in there, but still some good work going on. And we did identify some line down in here. We got Chipper and a crew working there to get that put back. And again, a major workforce up here in Deadwood. So Triple Nickel Road, Chippers have been completed in that today. We got masticators working. 48 hours, that progress hopefully is completed. And then working all the handline crews, looking like a fairly quick turnaround to be able to get that place back. Any questions or no questions, but that is the end of the report for me.
Alrighty. I've probably seen a few of you. I've actually been here. I was here once before for 3 weeks, and then back again. I enjoyed the community so much I wanted to come back. So I'm Jason Kling. I'm an agency administrator representing the Boise National Forest. And, I was here, like I said, a month and a half ago when things looked much differently than they do today. So, gosh, over the last month and a half, in working with our local cooperators and partners, and just, the hard work from so many firefighters. These fires look a lot better and are in a pretty good position today. So I had the opportunity with one of the operations section chiefs a few days ago to fly these 4 fires, and I generally don't like to get up and fly very much, but I did on this one, and spent almost an hour and 45 minutes, and what we saw out there looked really, really good. Not a lot of smoke, and a lot of suppression and repair going on, and trying to fix all those hand lines and those dozer lines, and get this thing ready for winter. So team's doing really good. Fire folks are doing really good. Folks are being safe. I think we're making smart decisions. We reduced the closure area last week. Highway 21's open. And then as these fires continue to get additional completion done, we'll continue to look for those opportunities to reduce those closure areas even more. So anyways, we're doing the best we can there. But other than that, I don't have a ton of updates for you. I'll be around afterwards and available for questions.
All right, good evening, everybody. Tyler Hecht, Incident Commander Trainee. So just a few things I want to touch on tonight. If you think about the course of this incident, the amount of people that have been working this over the course of time and where we're at, Jason just mentioned it. Several months ago, smoke in the air, and now we're at a good point. And the weather's helping us out. We look at their weather matrix here. That's allowing us to put the finishing touches on where we're at. So operations talked about they're making great success up on the fire. We're getting pretty close to achieving what we're going to achieve as far as completion goes. And then the last focus is just going to be all the damage that we do on the landscape when we're putting the fire out with suppression repair activities and getting them back to a natural state. So that's what to expect over the next 3 to 4 weeks, is some of that work's going to be continuing on. Do me a favor, if you see the firefighters in town, make sure you thank them. They're doing a bunch of hard work up there. You don't see it as much now there's not smoke in there, but that's a lot of hard work to get you back to where you're at. We're having a lot of focus on knowing hunting season's going on right now and really looking at the closure area and what makes sense. We'll continue to look at that and get folks back in if we can. And ask from me is pay attention to those closure maps. We spent some time over the last week just really trying to clean that up and make sure it's clear so people know where they can get in their hunt units and where they can go on roads and where they can't go on roads. So thank you, appreciate it.
Do we have any questions before we close out? Yes, ma'am.
First of all, I want to thank everybody, as I have before and will continue to do again, even after you're gone. Are you going to be posting pictures of the before, meaning after, meaning once you've done your fire suppression, and the after you've done the repair would be very interesting, because you keep talking about how you're building it back, and it'd be kind of fun to see that. I've really appreciated all of the videos as well that you guys have done.
So Kevin Abel, as the information officer, yes, we have more photos, more video that we're going to be showing that's going to show what a mosaic burn looks like. We just got some shots off a drone that we're going to be showing hopefully in the next 24 hours. And that'll give you an understanding of what the burn pattern out there looks like. We also have some video, what the chipping operation is and what it looks like as they're working on it. And there'll be other stuff that we do out there. We have a dozer video that came out a couple days ago that shows that repair happening. And it's looking really good. So we'll continue to give you those. You had a question?
Well, thank you again very, very, very much to each one of you and those that I don't see that are out there doing the other kind of hard work. You've done hard work too. Amen. My question, I don't want to get in your way or go over boundaries that I'm not supposed to. I'm a hiker, and I haven't been able to hike. And my favorite hike here locally is directly across from the Garden Valley Ranger Station, and it looks like it's still in the closure area. And so that's, I think it's on the edge of the closure. So when will that be open?
You guys have any knowledge of that area? Say that one more time. It's right, Garden Valley, right across from the Ranger Station.
It's called Station Creek Trailhead. And it's marked as a trailhead.
Hey Kevin, while you guys are looking at that, so we are looking at reducing the closure area and assessing that. So hopefully more to come on that here shortly as we continue to make progress out there. So the current closure order is where we're at. Hopefully, you know, as we move through time there and we continue to have success with fire suppression and repair, we'll go ahead and shrink that as we can. So here shortly you may see some more, you know, we're having those discussions now of what that new closure order is going to look like so we continue to have success. And part of that area that you're talking about is what we're looking at and assessing currently. So there may be some more information coming shortly. I just want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we're having those discussions as well.
Yeah, so I just had Robert up there, and he's from the operations section, so he said the same thing that Tyler just said, that that'll be one of the areas that comes out of closure here real soon. Any other questions tonight? Okay, now for some good news, bad news. It's been really well taken care of over the last few days. The guys have been doing really good out there. We've had approximately only 10 acres growth over the last week, and that's really good. So, now for the bad news part. We're not going to hold these public meetings unless the conditions out there significantly change in the future. But what we want you to do is, anytime you have a question, please call the information number, send us an email to the information line, or stop by out here and ask us. We're happy to help you at any time, okay? The phone lines are open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and we're around the city most of the day. You're gonna find some information officers. You see all the faces in here. Stop them and ask them. You have a question? Have them talk. You have a community event you want us to come to? We'll stop by. We're gonna be at the parade tomorrow. So please, ask us questions. Yeah, I see the parade. Maybe we're in it alone, but we have a homecoming parade, I'm told, that we're gonna be in tomorrow afternoon. So when you see the information officers out there, you see a firefighter at the gas station getting gas, you have a question, please ask them. Don't feel that just because we're not having these meetings, you can't come and get information. You can. That's what we're here for. Any last questions before we shut down for the evening? Yes?
You'll still be doing your morning updates, operational updates?
Absolutely. Operational updates and morning updates will continue as planned every day. But you can always, again, if you don't see something in there you want to know about, please ask us, okay? Have a great evening, and thank you very much for coming out tonight.